There are 2 miles to go. The 50 Stars at Sunnyhill stud 4-year-old only bumper. They begin at the head of the home straight. It is Felix Unger, and one out is Mr. Colleen's, followed by the Rock Factor, Cool Cafe, Quiryn on the outside of Hartford, and these are being followed at the end of more than a furlong by Ballygorry Ruby, and then Jerpoint Abbey and Apache Peak. Closely grouped, passing the 2-pole. The Rock Factor just takes it up from Mr. Colleen's and Felix Unger. Quiryn next, and then Ballygorry Ruby and Cool Cafe with the last 3, Hartford, Jerpoint Abbey and Apache Peak. On rising ground towards the stands first time, it is the Rock Factor, leading but only just to Mr. Colleen's, followed by Quiryn, who is moving into third ahead of Felix Unger, and then Cool Cafe, Hartford next, and then Ballygorry Ruby, Jerpoint Abbey is one behind Apache Peak. Circle in front of them, 1.5 miles to go. The Rock Factor up to the bend under Derek O'Connor, leading narrowly from Felix Unger, Keane Cullinan, improving on the inside of Mr. Colleen's and Adam Ryan. These 3 covered by a couple of lengths, tracked by Quiryn and Patrick Mullins, and then Cool Cafe, Hartford next, and then Ballygorry Ruby with the final couple. Over 10 furlongs to go, Jerpoint Abbey and Apache Peak. The Rock Factor by under a length to Felix Unger in third, 1.5 lengths back, Mr. Colleen's, and then Quiryn, who's followed by Cool Cafe, and then Hartford, Ballygorry Ruby, Jerpoint Abbey and Apache Peak. Continuing their progress towards the halfway stage, the 50 Stars at Sunnyhill stud 4-year-old only bumper, and it's the Rock Factor. And on the inside, Felix Unger, who's racing up on terms, and then Mr. Colleen's. Quiryn is shading the fourth from Cool Cafe, and then Hartford, Ballygorry Ruby next, and then Jerpoint Abbey and Apache Peak. Very little changes, just over 7 furlongs to go. Together, the Rock Factor and Felix Unger, a length up, and in third place, Mr. Colleen's, a couple of lengths in front of Quiryn, and then Cool Cafe, Hartford, still being weighted with towards the division, and then Jerpoint Abbey, Ballygorry Ruby and Apache Peak. On they come towards the 6 mark. Matching strides, the Rock Factor and Felix Unger, closely followed by Mr. Colleen's. 1.5 lengths back to Quiryn was Jerpoint Abbey, taking closer order in the black and white on the outside, and then Cool Cafe, Hartford, Ballygorry Ruby and Apache Peak. They tighten up, passing the 5, the Rock Factor by a head to a neck of Felix Unger, then Mr. Colleen's and Quiryn, Hartford, Cool Cafe, Ballygorry Ruby, Jerpoint Abbey, and although Apache Peak is the back marker, very much up with the play with 3.5 furlongs to go. The Rock Factor, Felix Unger, joined by Quiryn, Mr. Colleen's, Cool Cafe, nudged along on the inside is Ballygorry Ruby as they return to their point of departure. Many in with chances, less than 3 furlongs to go. The Rock Factor, Felix Unger, Quiryn, Cool Cafe, out on the left, Mr. Colleen's, followed by Hartford and Apache Peak as they arrive at the 2. It's the Rock Factor joined by Quiryn. After them is Mr. Colleen's, with Apache Peak staying on further over, and then Hartford, Cool Cafe, Jerpoint Abbey, Felix Unger is tied up, racing to the last furlong. The leader now is Quiryn from Apache Peak. Moving on from Hartford, the Rock Factor fades ahead of Jerpoint Abbey, but it's Quiryn away. In second place is Apache Peak, and then Hartford, well spaced out inside the final furlong by Quiryn and Patrick Mullins, win impressively on racecourse debut. Second Apache Peak, third was Hartford.
Patrick Mullins just receiving the accolades after his 1 or 4-year-old's bumper on Quiryn. Patrick, well done. That looked pretty easy.
Yeah, he was very good. He was kind of showing us that at home, but it's hard to be confident the way the bumper horses have been running. But I think since Christmas now, we've got them into boot camp, and I think they'll start to turn the corner.
And it didn't look like they went at a great pace. He was maybe doing a wee bit more than you want him to do through the early part of the race?
No, he was very relaxed. He's just a little, saw him in the parade in there. He wasn't keen. He's always kind of playing with you. But no, settled beautifully out. That's what I actually love about him. and loads more there. He was idling in front, you know.
You always look pretty confident. You got to the front. You actually didn't go from until you got to the front.
No, I kind of the ones in front kind of were going wider and wider, so I had to come in to challenge. I didn't want to get caught in the pocket after going so slow. And we got upside Derek, and sure, I was getting the field then, so there was no rush.
and he really cleared away. Did you know you were coming further and further away from the rivals?
Yeah, I was having a look at the big screen, but I think they need to learn to quicken and especially the horse that haven't ran before. So I wanted him to learn that because he was still a little green in front, and I think there was more there. So he's exciting.
Plenty of stamina in his pedigree as well, and obviously a 4-year-old his first run.
Yeah, I think they couldn't get him into the stalls in France, so I think he was in training. As a flat horse in France, they couldn't go into the stalls. That's how we came about. When we saw him, he's a fine big horse, he doesn't look like a flat horse, and he's a brother to Millefoy, who won a Group 1, maybe the Royal Oak or the Cadron, I'm not sure. So it's a flat pedigree, but with stamina.
And do you think he'll stay in bumpers now?
I hope so.
And just briefly on Sir Tuda, he ran a big race.
He ran a blinder. I probably got caught following Paul and Jack a bit, and I think they didn't run their race, and Declan probably just got 3 or 4 lengths down the side. I still thought I'd catch him all the way. I thought when I got upside him, I said, when I pull my stick now I'll go away from him, and he went on again. It was a serious performance by the horse, but I think Declan deserves huge credit. You know, he's assisting his father, he's riding him himself, he's beaten the Group 1. You know, people say it can't be done, and he's done it there with no big owner. He deserves huge credit. Yeah,
it's probably not easy to make ground on that ground, and also that is a really tough competitor, isn't
he? He is. And I just think as well, he had 3 runs under his belt. It was our fella's second run. I think that told in the last furlong, but I probably just got, I think Paul and Jack probably weren't going well enough to follow him, and I probably got caught behind them a little bit. I wouldn't mind another go at it, but would I have my last 5 that I'd definitely turn it around? I don't know.
Yeah, he still ran well, and well done here with Quiryn.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.